Hey everyone, my name is Kevin and today I have the brand new Series 2 Apple Watch. What we're going to do today is I'm going to talk about what's the difference between the Series 1 and the Series 2. Once we do that, I'm going to unbox this and show you what this looks like on the inside. Apple always does a fantastic job with their packaging, so I'm really excited to see what this looks like on the inside. Once we do that, I'll give you a high-level overview of some of the features of the Apple Watch, what I really enjoy, what I don't like as much, and at the end I'll let you know, is the Apple Watch worthwhile getting? Stay tuned. So I picked up the Apple Watch Series 2, and with the second generation of the Apple Watch, you have both a Series 1 and a Series 2. Well, what's the difference between them? So both of them have a dual-core processor. The key difference between the Series 2, which I have here, and the Series 1 is that the Series 2 has GPS and GLONASS. So what's the difference between GPS and GLONASS? Well, they're really both just getting a satellite signal that tells you what your location is. GPS is the American version, GLONASS is the Russian version. By having both of those, you have a lot more satellites to interact with, and therefore you get a more accurate signal. And the benefit of that is, let's say you're going on a run and you want to calculate an accurate distance that you covered. With GPS and GLONASS, you'll be able to get an accurate distance. Aside from just the processor, there are a few other differences, and one of the big ones is the price. The Series 1 starts at $269, so not too bad for a pretty feature-rich watch. The Series 2 starts at $369, so it's another $100 for the more advanced version. So you have to question, is an extra $100 worth all these additional features? Now, with the Series 2, you also have a lot of customization options. There are many different, so you could get a Nike version of the watch, you could get a Hermes version of the watch. They also have the Apple Watch Ceramic, so there are many different versions that you could get, and the price varies based on which one you want to get, but the Series 2 starts at $369. Looking at the features of the Series 1 and the Series 2, most of the features are pretty similar. One that we already talked about is the ability to get a satellite signal to give you GPS. That's one of the things that the Series 2 has that the Series 1 does not have. In addition, one of the other features that the Series 2 has that the Series 1 doesn't have is the ability to go in water, so waterproof. With the Series 2, what you could do is if you take a shower, if you swim, the Series 2 will hold up and it'll continue to work. With the Series 1, they say it's splash resistant. So what that means is if you're going on a jog and you're sweating, it'll be fine. If it rains a little bit, you get a little splash of water on it, it'll be fine. But if you want to, say, be able to jump in a pool or jump in a shower with your watch on, then you're better off getting the Series 2. In terms of all the other features that the watch has, so things like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, so on and so forth, both of them have it, so regardless of which one you get, you'll get that functionality. Another key thing that I want to call out between the two devices is the display. So the Apple Watch, in terms of the display resolution, is the same between the 1 or the 2. So you're not going to get more pixels on the screen depending on which one you go with. The one key difference, though, is if you get the Series 2, the screen is a lot brighter. So it's 1,000 nits versus 450 nits. So you're basically getting double the brightness. Now, when you're wearing a watch and it's sunny outside, you want as much brightness as possible to really be able to see the screen clearly. So that's another benefit of the Series 2. And now lastly, I just want to touch on the battery life. With the Series 1 or the Series 2, you're going to get about 18 hours of battery life. So either way you go, whichever model you choose, you're going to be able to wear the watch all day, but you'll still have to charge it at night. Another difference with the Series 2 is you get a wall power adapter. And what that means is with the Series 1, you could plug the USB into your computer and you'll be able to charge it. With the Series 2, you could also plug it into the wall outlet. So just a little nice extra thing that they included in the Series 2. Overall, I felt like $100 extra for all those extra features was worth it for the Series 2, so I decided to go with this model. But it's up to you. Are those extra features worth the money or not? It's your call. But hey, why don't we go ahead and see what this looks like on the inside and check it out. Well, this is my favorite part, the chance and the opportunity to open up the box. That's always the most fun part of this. So what I'm going to do is I have the box here. This is a test version that I have, which is why there's a message on the top. But if you look at the Apple box, it's typical Apple fashion where it's just very minimalistic and simple. So we look at the box on top, it shows the Apple Watch logo. On the sides of the box, there's not much content. It's just blank. Just one of the sides has a logo on it. So very simple. So we're going to go ahead and open this and see what this looks like on the inside. When I open it up, I get a message that says designed by Apple in California. Kind of cool. Let me lift this out and see what this top layer is. Ooh, there's the Apple Watch. So when I open this up, what you'll see is there's a little sheet that's included in here. Let me bring it down for my other camera. So when we look at this, you'll see the Apple logo, and it looks like some brief instructions on how to get started. Gives a little bit of overview of the different controls on the watch. Here on the other side, it looks like there's also some tutorial type information on how to get started. But we're going to be playing around with the watch, so I'm going to put this aside for now. It looks like some disclaimers and things like that. What I like here, this is really cool. It looks like what Apple did is they included another wristband. So depending on the size of your wrist, if you have a small wrist, they have a smaller wristband. If you have a larger wrist, they have a larger wristband. So you really have both options depending on the size of your wrist. So that's kind of neat that they included that. Some of them, like Fitbit, when you buy it, you have to decide what size wrist you have. And then you're stuck with that wristband, which in most cases isn't bad, but it's nice to have both. So now I open it up, and this is the nice goods. I see the Apple Watch in here, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. The thing's a beauty. So on just a few things about the device. There are two buttons on the side of the device. There's a crown dial, which you could turn here. That's to zoom in and out. You could also press the dial here. So if I press that in, that'll access the home menu. So there I could press it to kind of toggle back and forth. And there's also a second button on the side of the device. So really two buttons on the side. But one of the great things about the Apple Watch is you could also navigate using the touchscreen on the device. So here's the screen. I ended up getting the 42 millimeter version. That's the larger of the two displays. There's a second one which is 38 millimeters, which is a tiny bit smaller. I figured since it's a touchscreen, I want to have as big of a display as possible. So here's the Apple Watch. A few things that I'm going to call out on here. You have a heart rate sensor on the back. The way that works is it emits light onto your skin, and as your heart's beating, the blood will be going through, and it'll absorb more or less light. And when in that way, it uses it to calculate what is your heart rate. So kind of a nice capability to have on the watch. It's a nice thing when you're exercising to be able to see what is your heart rate. A few other things on the back as well. You have these two little buttons down here. If you press that, you can detach the wristband, and here I could slide it back in, same as on the other side. You could also slide that on and off. So that is that's the unboxing of it. Let's see, there are a few other things in here. Let me just pull those out. So like I said before, the Series 2 comes with a wall power adapter, so that's what you see right here. So that's really nice to be able to plug it into the wall and charge up the device without needing to plug it into a laptop or some place where I have a USB port. I always seem to run out of USB ports. And one additional thing that we have here, here's the USB charge cable. So let me pull that out of the packaging. So here you see the end of the charge cable. What's neat is this, so this is a magnetic connector right here. So to charge your device, there's nothing to plug it into. You simply plug this into the wall or plug it into a USB outlet, and then you take the watch and you simply click it on and it sticks to it. And that's how you charge it. So there's nothing to plug in, nothing to attach. You just put it on top, and then there you go. It'll start charging your Apple Watch. So really kind of nice design how you could just attach it that way. And that's really all there is in the box. So it's a pretty simple box, really clean and really elegant. Apple always does a fantastic job at boxing things. I've seen a lot of other companies start to try to box their products this way, but Apple really leads the pack with the way they do it. So now that we've unboxed the Apple Watch, why don't we go ahead and I'll show you some of my favorite features with the watch, and we'll play around with them and see how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the watch to my wrist. So here's the band. You have a little knob right on here. You also have holes on there. So here I'll put my wrist in here, and then you pull this around and line up one of the holes with the knob. And so I'll pop that in, and so there it's in. And then now I have this excess, and you just slide that into the opening, and then that's how you attach the Apple wristband. And what you'll see is you have the display here, and what I could do is I could toggle through different watch faces. So here, if I want kind of more of an analog view, here's kind of a digital with an image in back. This one's neat, that shows kind of the sunshine right now. So I could scroll through it, and you get all these different watch faces that I could choose from. One of my favorite ones, so here we have Minnie Mouse.
It's 4:31.
So you get all these different watch faces that you could choose from, and that's kind of neat to be able to adjust your watch kind of based on, based on how you're feeling, what type of watch face you want. That's a really cool thing to be able to just customize the watch experience. I want to show some of the interactions with the Apple Watch. So what you'll see here is when you tap on the dial, this brings you to your home screen where you see all your different apps, and so I could scroll around and see what apps I have on the device. If I tap again, that brings me back to the different watch faces, and so you could scroll through. One of the neat things is if you want to customize the display, you simply press down and they have something called Force Touch, which is when I push a little harder, it'll bring up the customization screen. A lot of different apps have the ability to customize these different views. Some other things, so if I tap here again, I could toggle back and forth between my apps and then the watch face. You also have this other button on the side, and so I'll press in there. What that does is it brings up your the panel of the apps that you use most frequently. So here I have a calendar on there. I also have the camera app. I have my messenger. I also have fitness information and then music. So you could decide what goes in here. You could remove things from here. So in terms of the Apple Watch, you could do a lot of different customization. This next one is probably something that I am most nervous about. I want to test the water resistance of the Apple Watch Series 2. So what I've done is, to make sure this is a good experiment, I wanted to submerge it in water. Let's see if it continues working. What I've done is I brought a water bottle along full of water. I also have a vase, and I'm going to fill it up with water. So let's go ahead and let's fill this up. All right, so we have a full container of water, and now I'm going to take the Apple Watch and let's see if it continues working. Here we see the Apple Watch, and we're going to place it into the vase. If this doesn't work, this is $369 down the drain, but I'm expecting it to work. So here it is. It is now fully submerged in the water. Let me put my finger in there and see if we could turn on the display as it goes under. Okay, so there you see the display is on. It's fully submerged underwater. It looks like the display turned off. So there it is. Let's pull it out and see if it still works. It looks like the display is still coming on. Works great. I disabled the touchscreen before I put it underwater. And what you do is you roll the crown here, and it'll unlock and eject the water. So you heard some sound from the Apple Watch coming out. So what that is as you bring it underwater, water gets into the speaker, and then to eject that water from the speaker, the Apple Watch emits a sound, and just through the sound waves, it'll push the water out and clear the speaker. That's probably one of my coolest features. That's what I think is one of the coolest features of the Apple Watch, that it's using sound waves to clear out the speaker. Pretty cool. On the Apple Watch, there are a few other capabilities that I really like, and so one of them is the ability to send a text message. So what I'm going to do here is, let's send a text message to my brother. So here I'm in the text messaging, and I could use Siri now. How are you doing today? Question mark. There you go. So it's as easy as that. The Apple Watch also has a whole bunch of predefined messages that you could also send. So I could select one of those. But the audio or my speaking to text works pretty well. Select from a whole bunch of emojis here. So depending on the mood I'm in, I could send different ones. Icon, and then you could zoom into that. And so I'm going to go ahead and let's make a call here. And the Apple Watch has both a microphone and a speaker, so you can make a phone call. Hello?
Hello.
How's it going? You're live on a video right now. You need your phone alongside your watch, so it's really a companion device, but it's really neat that you can take the full control just directly through the watch. Now, some of the other things I like about the Apple Watch as well is you can also use it as a timer. So what I'll do is, so all I do is if I hold down the crown, so here I'm going to hold down the crown, set a timer for 1 minute. And there the timer started. Also use your Apple Watch as a shutter to take a photo on your iPhone. Photo shutter, and so what it's doing now is it's connecting to the camera. So there you see they're connected. I could see the same image. So there you can see the phone. And so what I'll do is I'll take a picture right now with my watch. I'll take another one. There, the timer just went off. And so I could take a whole bunch of photos remotely. Apple Watch also has a lot of fitness capabilities. Here I have this little icon, and if I click on that, I could see, how many calories I burned today, how many minutes I've exercised, how much I've been standing. You also get the typical stuff like steps and distance covered. So the capability to show your fitness progress is very similar to what you could get with many other smart trackers, but it is there. Now that we've looked at a bunch of really cool features that the Apple Watch could do, I want to let you know what I think. Is it worth the money getting an Apple Watch? Well, if you're looking at a smartwatch, the Apple Watch has about 50% market share, which is pretty high. It's by far the most popular smartwatch that you can get. If you're also in the Apple ecosystem and you have an iPhone, it really serves as a fantastic companion device. The reason I say companion is you need your phone with you if you want to do the text messaging, if you want to make phone calls. But for the basic fitness functionality, you can just go out with the Apple Watch and it'll be able to manage that just fine. One of the great things about the Apple Watch is you also have a very broad third-party ecosystem. So you have a lot of different, for example, the Facebook Messenger app, or let's say you want to check your finances through Fidelity. The Apple Watch has a big ecosystem of providers, and so you can get many different apps on your watch. A lot of other smartwatches, especially the Fitbit apps, don't have that same capability. The last thing I want to talk about, some of the downsides about the Apple Watch. The battery life is somewhat limited. You only get about 18 hours of usage out of it. Now that's a decent amount of time. That'll cover you for the whole day, but if you want to do things like sleep tracking, you won't be able to do it with the Apple Watch because it's going to be plugged in charging in the wall. And lastly, one of the things I don't like about the Apple Watch, with the crown dial on the side and also the button, sometimes when I'm working out or maybe I'm cleaning in the house, it'll kind of bump up against my wrist, so you'll see my wrist kind of pushes against the button, and Siri will come on when I don't expect Siri to come on. So sometimes those buttons get in the way. You can lock the device so you don't have that issue, but it would be nice if they didn't protrude quite as much, and then I wouldn't run into that issue. All in all, though, the Apple Watch is a really fantastic device. For $369 for the Series 2, it's well worth it, and it's just a fantastic device to have. Really cool technology. Well, hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a big thumbs up and like this. The button should be somewhere there on the bottom of the screen. And if you really enjoy this type of content, if you're into technology, I would love it if you subscribe. That way you can get all the latest updates on the content coming out. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos looking at other cool tech that's coming out. So feel free to subscribe and you'll stay in the loop. Anyway, I will see you next time. See you later.